So a quick recipe for cauliflower bread. Just stick a head of cauliflower, break it up into little florets, stick it in your whizzer, and then whiz it up until it is until it gets to very fine. I've done that for about 30 seconds until it's just a very fine, looks a bit like couscous now. So that's the cauliflower head and the little bits of stalk attached, not the yeah, it is a centre stalk is in there as well. And then we're going to add some other ingredients. Before we do that, I just wanted to say this is what you can use for cauliflower rice, and so I would just pop this in a steamer on a piece of greaseproof paper and just steam it for a few minutes, and then that is what I use for my cauliflower rice. You can make fried rice out of it. You can add all bits of veggies and whatever meat or tofu or whatever you want to add into it to make up a fried rice. You can add spices, 5-spice, Cajun, cumin, curry, chili, whatever you like. Okay, so I have put in 2 medium eggs, cracked in there, 2 medium eggs on top of the cauliflower rice. I have grated in some mature cheddar. I've got 90 grams, so that's 3 healthy extra A's. I have got 10 grinds of black pepper. I have got 8 grinds of salt. I have sprinkled in some, this is onion powder, not onion salt. So I've sprinkled in some onion powder, probably about a teaspoon, and I've put some garlic powder in as well, and that's not garlic salt, that's just the label. So it's garlic powder, and I think I put about half a teaspoon of that in. And so here we are. So what I'm now going to do is put the lid back on again, and we're going to whiz it up. I'm just going to knock the sides down. So I've just taken all the bits that hadn't mixed in from down the sides and knocked that down. I'm just going to whiz that for another few seconds. So let's just whiz my lid. Here we go. Put that on. And then that'll be done. I'll try and make some little crackers. So I'm going to put just a little blob off of a spoon on a baking tray and see how many I can make. So this is the consistency. You can squash it together, but it's not too wet. And so I think it's going to make some nice little crackers. You can make bread, you can make a big pizza base, you can make it into slices of bread, you can make it into crackers or whatever you like. It is a really simple recipe, and it doesn't take very long to make. This is how they're coming out, and so what I'm trying to do is put a little bit at the end of my dessert spoon onto a silicone sheet, and then I'll see if I can do this with one hand while I'm recording. It's just a quick thing that I thought I would try for our Slimmer World taster this afternoon. And so just flatten it out like that until it's at the said shape. There's no scientific measurement here, it's just a little blob, and then you just pat it down with the back of the spoon. You're just making a roundish shape, and hopefully they're going to make little crackers. Well, I hope so anyway. I've not made crackers before. I've done cauliflower bread where I've made a big, like a pizza base, and cut it up to eat it as pieces of bread, and I've also done with the pizza on the top. But today I thought I'm going to make some little crackers and just stick these on a plate to go with all the lovely things that other people are bringing. And so there we are, that's what they look like at the moment. And I've done 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, I've done 13 there, and I still have almost a mixer full of cauliflower, and so I think it's going to make a lot. So those ones have gone in the oven, and I've just made 2 big ones, which I thought would be like a burger. You could put a burger and a mushroom and some salad and stuff between those, hopefully. And I've made a few more smaller ones, and I've also just got my little silicone tray out and put, oh, the first lot are done. They had 5 minutes on a 220. Let me just set that for another 5. Oh, I want to turn them over. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Open the oven. Right, so I've just done a tiny little bit in the bottom of these, which because I've run out of trays, and that actually makes a nice round shape. So we'll see what they all turn out like. So they've had 5 minutes on a 220. Just going to have a feel of them. They're not quite sealed. I'm going to give them another couple minutes and then I'm going to turn them over. So they're the ones in there. They're starting to brown around the edges. Obviously I don't want them to brown too much, but I do want them to be set. So these have now had 10 minutes on a 220 and I can now pick it up. So I'm going to, do I want to, I have to do that a bit better because I didn't quite get all the, I don't want that sticking. Mind you, that one might make something nice. I want to be able to turn these over so that we can get, oh, mind you, I might not have needed to turn them over because maybe this silicone sheet has just cooked the bottom as good as the top. That's a thought. Let me just see what's going to happen. So you can, that one's stuck a little bit. Maybe I should have sprayed it, but I don't normally spray my silicone sheets. Let's see. Yeah, look, they are quite cooked underneath as well. I think if I left them to cool, that would come off. Because you don't try and move hot stuff normally. I'm just going to try that. Oh God, that is so cheesy. That's really nice. Oh, beautiful. Right, I'm going to put them back in for a few more minutes. I'm not going to turn them over. I'm going to put them back in. I'm just going to swizzle this sheet round because the edges are the bits that I've cooked the most, where the edge of the oven was. So I'm going to leave that one because I scraped the brown off. I'm just going to put them back in for another 5 minutes maybe, so then I'll have had 15 minutes on a 200 fan. So after another few minutes, they are coming off of the tray. Look at that. They're just lifting up because I've cooked them long enough. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. There we are. Look, they are nice and brown on the other side, and so they are quite crispy, and I'm hoping that as they, let's see if we can get that one up, flip that over. I think as they start to cool, they might go a little bit crispier. So I think they've had about 15 minutes on a 220 fan, and just keeping an eye on them. I like that one the best. I think that one was really adhered to the sheet. These ones here, I think is where I curled the edge of this up and they've lifted up a little bit. So that's a lesson for next time. But that is ideal. That is how I wanted them to look. And I've tasted the mixture and I really like it. So this is the other tray. And this one's already loose. That's the one right, so try this one. That feels like it's a little bit stuck. No, hasn't. Turn it over. Oh yeah, look at that. So I think that's it. So they have had 15 minutes. Just loosen that one, turn that over. Yeah, it's where the edges are turned up and that's not quite sat on the silicone sheet. That's why it's pale there. But if you cut a piece of greaseproof paper into the bottom, which is what I'll do next time, then I think that will be superb. Meh, that one hasn't browned at all, but I'm hoping when they cool that they will be all right. So I'd say 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how thick you make them. So it's a bit of suck it and see really, but I'm really quite pleased with them. And I think when they cool off, the cheese will set and they'll go a little bit firmer. And I'll let you know how they go down at our taster this afternoon. Oh, these ones are really successful. They're jumping about. They're really loose. They're very good. This is the way to go, I think. Look at that. Yeah, both sides. Perfect. Excellent. So the big ones have come out well as well. Look at that. Those stripes are off of the underneath of the silicone thing. this tray has got holes in it and lines, which I cook my Slimming World chips on. But yeah, that's that. So that's quite nice, and I think that'd be really nice to have a burger in between that. These ones have come out really crispy. I like them. They're now nearly cool, and they're quite stiff. And so I'm really, really pleased with the recipe. Hope you are too. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it. If you try them, let me know.